Hello, Geetha ma'am. Thank you for agreeing to attend this interview. This interview is for part of our Team Binary Bolts campaign, Didi, where we seek to inspire females in technology. Our team, Binary Bolts, hail from Aditya Birla World Academy, a leading international school, and is part of the first robotics competition. With over 30 years of experience in business, technology, and people, Miss Geetha Kannan is a leading voice for women in tech, and she has accomplished much in her journey. She has also recently founded Wequity, a collaboration to drive further women in technology and help reduce gender inequalities. Now, without further ado, let's start the interview.
So good evening, ma'am. I am Sanjay Garya, and this is my partner Vibhav Singh. As you know, we're part of the team ABWA Binary Bolts, and this is our initiative, Didi. So firstly, I must say it is a real honor to have you here with us, and we really do want to know more about your experience. So could we jump right into the conversation then?
Sure.
Okay. So one main question that's
Sure, but before we start, I just want to congratulate both of you all, as well as the Aditya Birla World Academy for even thinking of doing something like this, because it's the need of the hour, and having more young boys thinking of this is truly commendable, and probably will give a head start to what's going to happen when your generation comes forward into the workforce. So congratulations on that.
Thank you, ma'am. That means a lot coming from you. Well, one main question that literally everybody asks, and it is important for people out there to know, is why do you think it is important for the STEM field to have women in it?
Well, I am biased towards STEM, so my answers would be very STEM focused, but you take a step back and consider what is happening in today's world. And if you look at the whole terminology of the Industrial Revolution, we're supposed to be in the fourth Industrial Revolution, and that fortunately or unfortunately is in the space of digital transformation. And when you say digital transformation, it relies a lot on technology, and technology is then going to permeate every business that's going to exist. And if that's going to happen, how sad can it be that there aren't females who help design or develop that technology, because 50% of the target market will be women, and then women are not there to design those technologies. So on one side, you need women to give it a different perspective in the whole industrial revolution that's happening. And the second aspect of the importance of STEM is that when you are doing and studying in STEM, the kind of systemic thinking and the logical reasoning and aptitude that you get is slightly different. And those things will serve you good in no matter in what field in life you take it. So I think in those two counts, it's very important to have an emphasis on STEM.
Right. Thank you so much for that. So coming up next would be, in your opinion, what do you think is the most important skill one must have to pursue the field of STEM?
I think the whole concept of STEM emerges from everything new and innovation that's happening around us. So one thing that I urge at every session that I do and every speech that I give is that we all need to do continuous learning. And in fact, if you can spend whatever you're doing, you'll have students, so you'll have anyway continuously learning. But if you can spend 20 minutes or 20% of your time learning something new that's not part of your curriculum, and that would aid you in going forward. So the whole thing of staying relevant in STEM means that you have to be continuously learning. So, and as a result, you'll be continuously having innovative ideas and thoughts that you can generate and propel, the economy forward with just that thinking. So continuous learning is that single most, if I say draw it from a hat, that's the single most thing I should say you need if you want to stay in STEM.
So I'm sure you definitely had a lot of experience. And so with that experience comes like a lot of challenges as well. So could you tell us that what were some of the most difficult things that you faced in the field of STEM personally?
Um, so there are two aspects of it. One is the whole the concept around you being in STEM, and the second aspect of it is, of course, being a woman in STEM. I think the women in STEM portion sometimes it overshadows everything else that happens. So the challenges of being in STEM, the need for innovation, for out of the box thinking, of continuous learning, of how to stay relevant, all sometimes gets a little overshadowed with the fact that you are a female in STEM. And since you're focusing a lot on how we can attract more and more females to come to STEM, um, one of the things that I personally haven't faced it, but there is a lot of thinking, especially among girls, and I think that's why sometimes women don't really get attracted to STEM, is the fact of the imposter syndrome. We think we're not as good as what we really are. And there are studies that prove that, you know, when people are applying for, say, something, girls tend to say, unless I'm 100% there, I'm not going to probably apply for that. You know, it could be an award, or it could be just a, you know, nomination of something that will get you further in life. But you, unless you're 100% there, you're not going to apply. So this imposter syndrome is the fact that unless you're perfect, you're not going to do anything. And and the flip side of that is, because of all the multitasking and all the things that girls usually do, what actually happens is, combined with the imposter syndrome, you start losing a lot of your self-confidence. So be confident in yourself, believe in yourself, and you know, you have your goals fixed, and going forward is the things that have helped me in the past, in my experience.
Wow, that is truly challenging, I must say. So, in that way, as a solution to one of the problems you've mentioned, how does one manage to influence the male colleagues to get more women in STEM?
Well, it's been a battle. Like, you know, I've been in this space and I've been speaking about it as early as probably 2004. Probably when you kids may or may not have been born, but and we have said it time and again, showing what is the benefit of bringing females to the table, by showing that, you know, you're ignoring a large talent pool, you're bringing different perspectives to the table, and as a result, there is more innovation going to happen. And the female leadership qualities that are more and more needed in the pandemic instance today is being demanded in terms of people who are more organized, or more enthusiastic, more empathetic, and those leaders are being sought after. So everyone seems to know the reason, like, why you need more females. But I think what you are doing, I think, is probably one very essential component, is that the women know it, but I think it's high time that we got male allies, or male, friends across, who would say, you know what, you can do it no matter what. We won't start a competition until 50% is women, or until 30% are females. If y'all can put that out there as targets for yourself and say, I will not, I don't know, but if you follow Sherlock Holmes, and I'm not getting the guy's name, he's right there in my head, but he doesn't, when he comes on the show, he says that his female counterpart has to be paid as much as he's paid, and then only he'll sign on a movie. Cumberbatch. Okay, he says that. So if people really sit on that, something like that, and say, I will not do it unless you do the same for my female colleagues, I think that that's going to, make a huge difference, because it means that it's not only being pushed up from the female side, but the men are also pushing, and we will converge and really have an improvement. And hopefully we will not have to look around for, females to join our competitions or females to join the workforce.
So in a broader perspective, what kind of principles would you recommend that we have to pursue the field of STEM?
I would say that a base or a foundation in STEM is probably a little. Again, I'm just forewarning you that cautionary thing, or the buyer beware thing, is because I'm a big supporter of STEM. Is that if there is a foundational learning of STEM, and from there, if people branch out, I think that is one aspect that would really change the way people are thinking today. And the second aspect is a very holistic way of how we apply things. If I can give it to you in a school context, is that y'all decided to have a competition, and trying to be more inclusive and trying to get everybody. It's not only male, female, but every kind of diversity on board. It results in a more holistic thinking of what your outcomes are. So if everybody can look at that holistic kind of thinking and implement it, I think that's the second principle that I would urge. And the third principle that I would urge is also that everything has to be goal oriented, and till all of us have those goals or targets in front of us, I don't think we really will do anything just saying, oh, it's for the greater good. So it definitely has to be something that has to be driven as a personal goal, or an institutional or an organizational goal. So those three things are a foundation of STEM, very holistic attitude in the way we get into solutions. And the third one is, of course, saying that, we have to be goal oriented.
I agree. I completely agree that a foundation in STEM is very important. So one of my initiative also does and creates a foundation in STEM for underprivileged children. It's called Adhigam. So finally, one important thing that we must ask you, since you have so much experience, if you could send one message out there to women, what would it be?
It's the whole thing of, you have to believe in yourself. If you can believe in yourself, you will definitely be able to be confident. And once you get that confidence, you can go ahead and really rule the world. And I think, we've got measures of where women have ruled the world, and those countries, I mean, somebody did do a WhatsApp message saying that those countries did much better in terms of how they fought COVID, but it's something like that. So if women rule the world, it's a better place for everyone, kind of thing. But more importantly is just believing in yourself, because self-belief will propel you really forward. So that's all I can say. Believe in yourself, and believe, because there's no better cheerleader who'll stay with you on your side all the time other than yourself. So I would say that's even my personal motto, where you say you believe in yourself.
Wow. Well, that was truly insightful, ma'am. And I, again, just thank you so much for sharing your life experiences and giving us so much knowledge. And I'm sure you've already inspired a lot of women out there to pursue the field of STEM. And I'm sure they already do believe in themselves because you asked them to. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for this interview, ma'am. It means a lot to us.
Yeah. Thank you so much for, I did fit it in before the Christmas holidays, because I thought you all would go off on vacation. And I think what you all are doing is very important. But but like you said, if you look at Wequity, and if those girls are following Wequity, you should look at our Wequity Spotlight, where we showcase women role models from very different technology companies from all over India. And they are a true inspiration. So there are role models out there in STEM. There are mentors out there. So seek them out, chart your path, Believe in yourself, and all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.